Hello all, it's David of Sparkle Stories, where I write and record stories for children, and of How to Story, where I co-teach with Meredith Marco, and Storying with David, where I consult others on how to integrate storytelling into their speech. So today we are focusing these 4 videos, short videos, on practical things that you as teachers can do. So to make the transition over to online learning. You have all been teaching in classrooms, some of you for years and years and years, and now suddenly everybody is online, or at least most people are online, and you have been spending a lot of time on Zoom or Google Meet or the Microsoft platform, any number of platforms, but still it's a screen. And by the end of the meetings that you've been having faculty meetings, maybe you've already started teaching, it's tiring. Zoom fatigue is real. And so one of the goals of these videos is to give you some things that you can do while you're teaching, before you're teaching, and after you're teaching, that will help you be a better teacher and the kind of teacher that you want to be, and learn things that are advantages to this kind of learning. So as a storyteller and as a former elementary school teacher, I got used to people being in the room. I thought that that was how things needed to be. But after now 11 years of telling stories to children around the world via MP3's audio, our streaming website, I tell stories to them outside of time and space, inside my recording space. And what I mean by that is that I feel them. I feel connected to them. And you can hear it in my voice, so that when the children listen to my stories, they feel connected to me like I'm really right there. We get countless emails to that effect. So storytelling is going to be the key skill in these videos. And over the many years in which I've been telling stories, and in the last few years where I've been teaching with Meredith, we've honed it down into 4 steps. And these 4 steps you can do in order, but you can do them out of order. You do them all together. It's incredibly effective. Those 4 steps are attention, affection, approach, and allowance. And for the purposes of these videos, we're going to be putting them through a filter of what it is to use those in somatic storytelling, which is body-based storytelling, because what we don't have with teaching online are the bodies with us. Our animal is unsettled by having to go through a device in order to connect with our students and them with us. So we need to increase the somatic part of the teaching, which means be in our bodies. And this kind of storytelling will help. All right, so step 1, attention. And what we use attention for is being in the room. So in step 1, attention is about the room. It's about the outside space. In step 2, affection, it's the inner space. It's how the world affects us and our feelings. And step 3 is approaching the content that you have brought, the lesson, the plan for the day. And 4, which is key, allowance, is to be present enough to change course as needed through the course of the lesson. So 1, paying attention. And we pay a soft attention. And what I mean by that is it's peripheral. Now, as creatures, the creature part of us, we are an animal. We are categorized as a mammal. We feel safest when our periphery, when a periphery is a part of our experience. We are in attention to our periphery. That's what really being in attendance is. It means our full self is here. So with Zoom or with any screen, our attention is right here. There's no periphery in that. So in order to feel safe, our periphery needs to be engaged. And if this device doesn't give us that, then we need to have a practice in our teaching where we and our students are engaging our periphery. It is also where you will notice things that are important that might escape you otherwise. When you have a grid format, you might notice something in a corner that somebody does that's going to affect their entire day. They may have raised their hand real quick and put it down, and you just noticing that is going to make a world of difference. So let's talk about this idea of a room. You will now have more than one room, because when you're teaching in a classroom, you're all in the same room. That's the room. And you dress up the room, you paint the room, you put posters up on the room. On the door it says 3rd grade or 8th grade or 12th grade or whatever it is. They come through a door, they enter the room, they go from one space into a new space. There are windows. It's a room, and it settles us to be in a room because we can peripherally experience that. We can feel ourselves here. We can feel the vibration of people speaking. We can smell them. And when we eat, we can smell the foods of other people that are eating. That is soothing. So our number one thing is, before they can really take in information, we need to help them feel safe. So here is an exercise. Here's one simple thing that you can do. Acknowledge that the Zoom room is one room, and the room that you are in is one room, and each of the rooms that they're in all exist. So as an exercise, we're all going to do this together, where we're going to see the Zoom room. And it's great to give it some personality. Give it a special name. If you can brand it with a particular name to make it feel all unique in all the world. And the way in which you use your technology with microphones and cameras, you can have a special camera that goes on your blackboard or on your whiteboard. And it works with Zoom. You can have a camera that is on documents so they can see you write. However you're going to be using these things, there are lots of additions and extensions of Zoom that you can use to make it a more, full experiential thing. But still, screen. So you move back your vision now to see that the screen is a part of a device. Notice the edge of the device. It's a phone, it's a computer, it's a tablet. Just notice that. Already you can see yourself landing in your body. All right, now pull out and see the device in the room. See how it relates to the whole room. Where is it on the desk? Where is it in relationship to you? Where am I sitting? What else is in the room? All of those things. So now this room, the Zoom room, is a part of this room, my office. Okay, all right. There's something in me that settles into that. That's a great way to really help your students, especially those young ones, really connect with the space that they're in, which is where they will get that somatic experience, and then connecting in with you and imagining through empathy and imagination what it's like to be in your space. So that's a great way to connect the rooms together. Another thing to be considering is what they're seeing. So you may be using speaker view, you may be using gallery view, depending on the platform that you're using. In a classroom, a lot of children, especially those in the back, they'll see a lot of backs of heads. That's what they're used to. That's what it's like to be in a room. You don't always see people's faces. You never do in real life. Gallery view is weird. It's bizarre. But at the same time, it has some advantages. You will see everybody's face. You will see what their space is, and you can comment on it. You can have a sharing time of what's that behind you. And then they will help them ground inside of that. You can have exercises of mirroring, where we really want to pay attention to a particular individual in one part of the grid and just behave like them. That mirroring is soothing. We do it all day long subconsciously, but you do it on purpose. And when you're in a classroom, the children do that when you're up front. If you're telling a story or whatever, they'll have the same expressions of you. So you can take advantage of the gallery view to do that, or the speaker view for that matter. But you can have fun with gallery, and it helps take advantage of the weirdness of the space. You can have people line up their fingers and then poke each other in the gallery view. You can high five either side. You can lean up against. You can even reach out and give a hug to somebody, and inwardly they might experience that. So when on this first step in storytelling, we always pay attention first. Storytelling is about listening first before you even open your mouth. It's about getting lots and lots of information, and then it's actually the second step, affection, our feelings, that help us make a choice and know where to begin or where to go next. So join me in affection in the next video.